Hello, friend. I'm David Newby, author of the book Why Didn't Anyone Teach Me This? And I'm also the founder of YourProsperityPower.com. I want to talk to you now about what are the best kind of investments for you and the safest kinds of investments for you in 2009 and beyond. With how much money most of us lost in 2008 is a very vital question to know the answer to. Now, there are a couple of main mistakes that most people make when they look to make wiser and better investments, and I want to make sure that you avoid those. The first mistake to avoid is going out and putting a lot of money into something that you think will make a high rate of return to make up for last year's losses. A lot of people will buy a magazine and buy last year's best mutual funds, last year's best whatever, and that is a formula for failure. If you do that, you're shown to the average person who just invests on their own averages a 1% a year return. The stock market overall averages 8 to 10% a year. So if you are going to just stick with mutual funds or traditional things, you're better off just putting money in an index fund and getting what the market averages. You'll make 8 times what you make just doing it on your own and chasing last year's winner. Now, if you want to get a little more advanced, the second thing that I recommend doing is join a winning team of successful investors. And they are out there. We can all learn from the Madoff scandal. You want to make sure that you understand what they're doing, that they'll give you financials and you can look at their system. And it's not all hush-hush secret that they won't tell you what they do. And it is very realistic and very possible for you to make 10, 12, 15% a year rates of return safely and consistently when you work with the right people. It all comes down to getting the right people on your team, and they are out there. It just takes some research and some due diligence in knowing how to determine good investments. So I encourage you to look for winning teams to join and become a more savvy investor. Now, a really advanced technique is to work with teams of people who focus on cash flow producing investments, because you can pay monthly bills with cash flow without touching your principal. If you're investing in something like a mutual fund, you have to cash out and use some of your principal in order to pay monthly bills. So if you want to get really advanced, look at working with groups of talented, sophisticated investors who invest in cash flow producing investments, and you can really get phenomenal results. Just imagine if you invested in something that made you 1% a month every single month. It is possible to do that, and there are groups out there that invest in the stock market in a very safe, conservative way that pays monthly cash flow. So I encourage you, become a shrewder investor, get out there and look for some teams. No matter how much you may be tempted, don't just attempt to do it on your own. That's a formula for failure. And get out there and make it happen. You deserve it.